Hello, welcome to my inking video. I am going to narrate the steps I took to ink this fully penciled page. Here we go. The first thing to do is to ink panel borders. This is a Copic multi-liner 0.8. It runs out at some point, so you see me do this sleight of hand trick around here. So find a new one, carry on. And so I'm using sort of portable tools to do this. Usually when I ink, I use like a sable hairbrush and a Hunt 102, you know, the traditional tools. Here I'm using these, in this case a Faber-Castell Pit pen, to draw in the spaceship, the protagonist's spaceship. And because I find myself at like drawing workshops and stuff, and I like to work on pages while I'm at those things. The second panel here, I use a combination of templates to get nice rigid lines, and I also freehand lines as well, so it doesn't look too rigid. In my mind, anyway. I think it works. And you saw me there. I'm using the Pentel pocket brush, my favorite art tool in the world, to actually line in, do some straight lines with a ruler. And it gives the line a bit more personality, and gives it that comic booky look which I'm after. And being this is a space opera story, the spaceship has lots of buttons and lights and things. Lots of grime. Here's the star of the show. This is Sophie doing her, starting her off with the pit pen, but then I go in with the brush and to sort of do the solid blacks and the shadows. And this boy here, he is the antagonist of the story, the wonderfully space roguish Ghanaian, who has hijacked this ship. And I'm using the brush because of that comic booky look I'm after. The 1970s-ish Marvel look. Hopefully with my own little flavour to it, but that's what I'm after. Yeah, lining in again with that brush. Lovely. On to the third panel, which is the main panel, which is the main storytelling panel here. All the characters in the scene. Sophie, Ghana, and you see a robot in the back, that's Gil. And I should mention that this is a Sophie and Gil page. That's the name of the strip. So since Sophie's in the background, I was not confident with the tip of the pocket brush to do the fine detail of her face. So I did that with the pen, and just went in and kind of gushied up the lines with the brush. But this guy, he's kind of far enough, close. Well, he's close enough. Sorry, that I felt confident I could just go in with the brush. Or did I change? Yes, I stand corrected. I went in and just did his face with the Faber-Castell. With this type of comic art, which is the back of my head. Oh, go away. Thank you. This type of comic art, it's black and white, yes, at the moment, but the final product is going to be color. And you have to think about where the color is going to go, which means you have to think about the tones. Now, the tones of something like this is you have basically three, which is black, white, and a little bit of grey. And the grey is represented by usually hatching or cross hatching. Sometimes you can use like a zipper tone or something, but I'm using black, white, and grey. The reason for that is because the color is going to come in here, and that's going to further sort of separate your planes, and if you use it right, add depth. So you got to train yourself to essentially do an incomplete black and white drawing, because you don't want the colors to compete with your inking. And I've seen like classic black and white strips that have been kind of repackaged and given modern color jobs, and it just destroys them in a way, because you see this fine, really good color jobs, fine, kind of airbrushy look put over something that's been kind of over rendered, and something that looks great in black and white, but it looks too much in color. The IDW Doctor Who classic strips are guilty of this. They look great with flat color, but with modern color jobs, But anyway, so you'll notice that this look is the black, white, and the tone in between. It's very stark. It's very black, white. Single light source, which usually produces a big, heavy shadow. I don't know how realistic it is, but it looks cool. And I'll say something about comic book art in general, is that stuff like this. It's sort of an optical illusion when it comes to detail. There's you probably see a lot more detail than there actually is. Like in her nose, which I'm about to do her nose, is a shadow and a line and a nostril. That's it. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. But it's but not much more. The illusion is produced by 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 where the shadows lie. Oh yeah, where the shadows go, and lighting. And a certain stylized look, and like especially in the folds, like that guy's cape back there. It would, if it was realistic, there would be a lot more folds in that cape, but there's not. Ghana yen. I created this character so I would kind of scratch. I could scratch that itch to draw sort of superhero type physiques. Basically, he's not a superhero, but he's kind of built like one. He's sort of inspired by the Logan's Run adaptation they did in the 70s, where they represented Michael York's character, the guy he played in that movie, by giving him this beefy kind of superhero body, which Michael York does not have. Okay, now I'm using this 3M tape to mask the panel borders. It's removable magic tape, it's called. It has a similar glue to what are they? Post-it notes. And I'm yet adding this black and sort of random-esque spots to do this stylish representation of space. In Photoshop, I scanned some ink splatters and inverted them, so I now have a random star field. So I'll probably add that to this when I color this in Photoshop. But I'm using the pocket brush, some shadows I didn't put in before. Again, single light source, big heavy shadow, not much else. And using the fine tip of the Copic marker, the special black Copic marker, to add rounder spots than I could manage. If there are any questions, put them in the comments. I'll get to them. I'll probably be putting all of my Sophie and Gil strips on my webcomics website in the very near future. I just have to sort of re-edit them, get rid of some typos and that, and get this one on its feet. This is page 7 of 8, so I've got one more page to do. Oh, and there's that's Pentel correction pen to add some white to that. And erasing stuff, making it as clean as I can. With this paper, it's when you add an eraser to it, sometimes it strips away the ink on the page, so you have to go back over it, darken it up again. But I seem to have gotten away with that here. And here, that's where we started, and that's where we ended up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I will see you again next time.